This is bad. This is real bad. Just death. Come here, kiddo. I gotta get you out of here, man. You got to go. What's cracking, YouTube? It's still that cat, Drew, FishyBizzAquatics, professional aquatics with the amateur touch. So amateurs, yep, get the professional look. And I don't have on the hood or the black hat or the St. Louis hat today. Got that haircut, baby. I was wolfing out there for a minute. Thank God the barbers are back open, but I digress. Today's video, let me show you what happens when a tank crashes and burns. Crash and burn. Like fire in the tank. And also what to do about a bully that's been bullying for a while in your tank. Sometimes things just gotta go. When they gotta go, they gotta go. Enough talk. Let's go. So here is my 40-gallon about 2.5 months ago. For all those fish that you see that are not really colored up in the back there, they got the couple of blazes on them. Those are from the LFS when they were smaller, thinking that they were OBs. When they grew up, they end up being a German strand hybrid. They have the blue faces, and you will see them in my blue face baby video. I'm gonna throw a link up there. And I had to bring them home. So when I did bring them home, I put them in my 40-gallon because I didn't really have too much in there except for that ruby red German, the Z-Rock, that Sunshine, and maybe a couple other females. So it wasn't a big deal. So I thought. Now here is the problem with that. When you start adding fish, and especially if you only started with 5 and now you have 9, and you continue to add fish, usually I get fish out of this tank and either give to LFS or to other people or anybody who wants to buy, you know, anywhere between a 5-6 inch fish. That's where they go. Now there's normally not a problem with that because usually that tank only will have 5 or 6 fish in it for a small amount of time. Now that COVID hit, those fish are in there for at least 2.5 months, and notice that I only have 2 sponge filters in there. One in the back there, and then an actual 60-gallon sponge filter on the side. The problem with that is that African cichlids are extremely kind of a dirty fish. They need a lot of filtration, especially if you're going to house quite a few of them. 9, 10, 11, 12 in a 40-gallon is too much bio load for 2 sponge filters, especially with only one being for a 60-gallon. So not thinking that's the issue, I was continued as usual. I do believe the only thing that saved me was regular water changes, but if I ever got lazy, and sometimes I do, as we all do, you don't change it maybe for the week, or you try to put it off, or maybe you had to run out and do other things, it's then the third, and it can come back and bite you really fast. So you really have to stay up on it. Another good thing was that 5 of my fish were taken out of that tank. Was able to get rid of a couple of them to a couple of people. So did make it a lot better, but still too many fish and damage was done. So really the first thing I started noticing was that they were not eating the food. And so when you see that, you try to figure out what's going on and why is there so much food clumped to the sponge filters. So sponge filters were caked up. There was food debris all over the place. When I started moving some of the decor around, it was more food debris. And fish started acting, you know, sick and dying. You know, definitely did the water change and did a max water change, but it was time to start getting fish out of there. And the more and more I looked around, I just saw, you know, fish being beat up, you know, fish just kind of just lingering. And the first thing that you do at a sign like this and noticing that your tank is crashing is there's dead fish that pop up. And you look in your tank, you know, in the morning, and there's another one. Like, man, what is going on? The food is not being eaten. Fish are lethargic, and you know, first thing you want to do is you want to medicate the tank, and you think maybe that's the issue. But when you start seeing food caked up around the filters and stuff like that, it is time to do a complete overhaul. So first, of course, you want to save probably your most expensive fish, and mine was the green phantom pleco and my ruby red germ. My Banga Sunshine, it was with Little B and a couple more fish that he got from me, so they are doing good. But my peacock females, and I had to get those out of there, and a few of them died. So this is probably the most death that I've had in one tank at one time before, and a tank crash is exactly what it is. So you really have to now do a complete overhaul of the tank, get out the fish and place them in places that you won't have it happen again, and possible quarantine time just in case there was sickness in that tank. I also had to get my Sidonus cat out of there also, and here's what we did. Sidonus cat is about 6.5, maybe 7 inches long. Seriously, he's a big guy. Want to make sure that I got him out of there and got him doing well. So he was in this pail till I figured out where I wanted to put him. It was only in between the 60 and the 75, and I already have a huge pleco and a Sidonus. Next was the ruby red German. He's being floated now in the 75 gallon, along with a few other fish that were of size that could possibly make it in with the 75 gallon guys. So without trying to overwhelm that tank. It's a little bit better look at German ruby red, size wise in comparison. Should be able to hold his own here in the 75 gallon, and just get him acclimated. He also was salted and meal fixed prior. Got another German ruby red strand in there also. So gonna go ahead and get them in there. There also was a sale on 350 Penguin Bio Wheel power filters, like $27.99 at PetSmart, so I grabbed 2 of them so I could go ahead and put one on the 40 and one on my 60. And it's up to 75 gallons, so this was right on time. So in the 60 gallon, you'll see my juvenile cichlids. And at first I had one 350 Penguin filter on it with 2 60 gallon sponge filters. But since I added the Sidonus cat, green phantom plecos down there, I wanted to make sure that I added another penguin. So that was the second penguin that was purchased, is now on there. So now that's 2 350 penguins and 2 60 gallon sponges. These of course are my fish that leave more often and more frequent to LFSs and other customers. Gallon, which houses most of my bigger cichlids, Already had 2 350 penguins on there and 2 60-gallon sponge filters, but I added another 40-gallon sponge filter here in the corner. And the German ruby red, he is hiding. He used to be the man in his tank, but now he's got these other bigger fish there, but is doing proper now, so doing a lot better. Also with a couple of other females that joined him in this tank. Wanted to make sure that I have the right filtration as to not have another crash. As for the 40-gallon, I cleared it out. I put a 60-gallon sponge filter, cleaned out the sponge and put that back in there. I've got a 40-gallon sponge filter I put in there, and also the 350 70-gallon penguin filter is on the back of that thing. So now we are ready to roll. I have got to get that orange Kenji out of there and that golden cichlid. They have got to go out of that 75-gallon. They harass everything that comes in there. Here they are in the 40 all by their lonesome. They don't tend to mess with each other, but when they get together in a tank, they go after everything. And especially this orange Kenji, just ridiculous. Might be a red zebra. I know I keep going back and forth, but the water is clear. It's ready to go. I did have the Cychlid's cat in here with them, but he came out damaged when I came back the next day and looked in here. And I'm not sure if he was on the heater or being chased around. I will show you a quick picture of him, but I definitely got him out of there and put him in the 60 with the juvenile cichlids. But looks like the fish that survived are all good to go now. I have enough filtration, I believe, to be able to handle the load, and things are looking a lot better. I will probably decorate this one up and see what I can do with it. So there you go. A look at what's been going on over here around these ways. The fish hobby isn't all perfect. Nobody is. There's going to be good times, and there's definitely going to be bad times. Hopefully you have more good times than bad, but nobody's perfect. And if they say they are, they lying. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be death in everything that you do fish related. You just got to make sure that you learn from those mistakes. And if this video can help you not make any, then so be it. Until then, you already know what it is. FishyBizzAquatics, professional aquatics with the amateur touch, so amateurs, yep, get that professional look. Get at me.